What up?
How we feeling? How we feeling?
Hey, what's good, John? What's good, John? What's good? It's Sunday night, you know what I'm saying?
Sunday night.
Evening, Sunday. I give it a
Yeah.
Sunday evening. That's right. I like to blend it up since you're on the West Coast, I'm on the East Coast. We're right in the middle, so we meet right in the middle. So it's Sunday evening, bro. Yeah. So welcome back.
It sounds like it's a wild Sunday night for you. It says sound like it's a wild Sunday night for you with that weather over there.
Bro, man, let me tell you. Especially because, look, anybody out there who lives in this region of the United States, like in the South, like the Southeast, bro, the weather has been, you live, like every morning when I wake up before I go to work, I check the weather, be looking at it like, okay, thunderstorms about this time. That shit never hits, man. For the past 2 or 3 weeks, it ain't never hit. You look at it at 2 o'clock, you look, where's thunderstorms at? I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I work in some retail, so that thing needs some chill time for a little bit, like thunderstorms come, customers don't come, bro. So you be looking at 2 o'clock, what happened to the thunderstorms? They move till 8. You get to 8 o'clock and I'm already home chilling. No thunderstorms, nothing. That's how it's been for like the past 2 or 3 weeks.
I think the weather's like super crazy. It's like, it can be super sunny one day and like even in the same day, and then like you get these insane, like I remember they had some insane storms,
like
lightning and thunder like would shake the house, like you would think like the apocalypse
is coming.
The sky gets super crazy.
I had them pour mine. You ready? All right,
I'm ready, man. Let's do it. Episode 14.
14.
Let's go.
We moving
out here. Did I lose him? Oh no, my boy. Oh, poor ACS, man. Oh, I bet his power went out. Oh, we got him back?
What up?
Oh, he's back. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Yo, my bad, bro.
No, you're chilling, bro.
Just dropped, bro. Marcus fucking here, and I was like, come on, man.
I saw you go stealth. Like, I didn't even notice. I was like, dang, why is he so quiet? And I looked over and I saw your screen frozen. I was like, oh, I bet his power went
out. It just dropped again. And my wife, she had done got home and she was in there and she was like, oh shit. It says Gal Gadot says they're developing a new Wonder Woman movie and James Gunn's DCU. So bro, what they gonna do with that, man?
I low key, like, I don't think it's actually gonna happen.
Yeah,
no. Like I don't see it. I just don't see that happening, man. I feel like that's this kind of reminds me of like when Gunn said Ben Affleck was gonna direct the Batman, and then Ben Affleck came in that article like 2 weeks later, was like, I'll never make
I'm not doing
it. This is kind of what that reminds me of.
Yeah. Bro, if you get rid of, if you're going to move on from Ben, Henry, the actors that sort of represent that stage in live action DC, then why not her too? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I look at, hey, and make no bones about it, I love Gal as Wonder Woman. I think she's fire. Yeah. But if you're gonna move on from everybody else, why not her? This is such an odd thing, man.
I just feel like this is just going to confuse everybody. It's confusing me.
It is.
And we follow this stuff like to a T. Like, we follow everything that drops about it. Confusing to me.
If you're going to move on, just move on. There's no need in like sort of trying to keep these sort of remnants of what you had before, because it literally confuses the general audience. Us, we're versed on this shit, right? Like, we know. We've watched it. We've experienced what happened when it came to the Snyder Cut and all of that stuff. So we're on a certain level. We're like, just move on. Just move on. And in her comments, she almost sounded like she didn't even know what the fuck she was talking about.
Yeah, I guarantee she don't. I guarantee she don't.
She probably was told something by somebody, and she was probably like, oh, okay. But Andre said, people need to understand that we're not going to get Zach's version of characters. We will be getting a gun. Yeah, I mean,
it's like, why, like, if you're going to use Gal Gadot's, even if that's Gunn's
Mm,
version of the character, if you're going to use Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, like it just doesn't make sense not to
no,
use Henry Cavill's Superman. Then.
no, it doesn't make sense not to use Ben Affleck's Batman. It doesn't.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah, yeah,
like, well, then where, like, why is the Superman different but the Wonder Woman's the same? Like,
yeah, exactly. So let's talk about Lizzo for a second, man.
oh my god,
I want to say I hope it ain't true. I just want to say like I hope you got your shit in check because if this is true,
hey,
you that's it,
hey,
bro. We know where we sit at these days, but let's break this up. Like yo, that news hit, and I was like, wait, what?
I know. I was reading it and I was like, I'm sorry, she was making people do what?
Yeah, I was like, yo, so let's Ariana and Crystal accused Lizzo of coercing backup dancers to participate in nude cabaret shows. Sometimes that means eating bananas out of sex performers' vaginas in Amsterdam. Damn, they out there. Ain't they?
Bruh.
Yo,
Bruh, I had to read, dude. When I was reading that, I read that twice. I was like, wait, what? Eating bananas out of what?
bro, hold up now. See,
There ain't no way. There ain't no way, man.
yo, this is insane. This is a level of insane that's like way up there. So,
There's no
but
way,
the beast
bro.
said, bro. Ariana claims Lizzo body shamed her for gaining weight. And she claims Lizzo used an admission of an eating disorder to justify firing her.
Look fat as shit. Okay, I'm getting very concerned with the integrity of our organization here. You are becoming a chimichanga.
I'm gonna be real. For me personally, I've never liked her.
Oh, you never like,
Never.
okay,
Nah,
okay.
she's always just come off as
Mhm.
like kind of cocky to me. Like she reminds me of it's like
Oh,
Simon Liu or Simeon. Is it Simeon
you
Liu?
talking about Shang-Chi?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Same thing. Like I can't stand that guy. That guy, he comes off as like just like a
Yeah,
cocky bastard to me.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I feel like behind the scenes he's a complete douchebag to people. I bet you will hear stuff like this
Yeah,
about him
like
too
later
soon.
on. Yeah, 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 yeah. Later on, I think.
But I mean
Yeah.
that's just
Yo, everything that's come out from this, I believe it 1000 though. Like it's
yeah.
not like, hey, hold up, wait. Like I'm like, I can see that just
Mm-hmm.
because of the way success hits like some people. You know what I'm saying? Like there's and we've seen it. Like we're some older cats. We've been in the game for a long time. You can understand like success doesn't hit everybody the same way. Some
Right.
people can't handle it. Some people go out and they fucking I believe all this shit. What these people, what these dancers or these side people are saying, her people are saying, like I could see it happening
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
from watching sort of like Lizzo's live performances and just seeing sort of her attitude about a lot of things. I can see that.
And these people get so much money
Yeah.
and power, and it's like they don't hear the word no. You know what
No.
I mean? So
No, no. I'm 46 years old, bro. I've seen a
yeah,
lot when it comes to celebrities over the
yeah,
years, and you
yeah,
see a lot of stuff. And at a point in time, remember back in the day, like you didn't see none of that shit because there was no social media. But now
yeah.
we have the social media, so now you get to sort of you get to see stuff
Everything,
like
everything comes out, and it comes
everything.
out quick. It comes out quick.
Her early shit, like when she first dropped, I was like, yo, she doing her thing or whatever. And
Yeah,
we different on opinion, but that it is what it is. But now this stuff, we probably can agree that like some of this stuff, I believe it. I believe it.
oh yeah,
I'm
same.
not
So do I. So do I.
I'm not gonna sit here and say I don't because that people, man, dude, it's
Hey man,
it's an insane world that we live in.
yeah,
And
they
uh
don't got rules there. Huh? I mean,
yeah, and money does play a part when you have so much and it's just flowing. People tend
hmm
to do things that probably wouldn't. And
yeah,
that's not to apologize for what this is, because this shit ain't going away. She you know what I'm
bro.
saying? This is insane. Nah, and it's
How you treat people when you're in a position of power says a lot about you, man.
yeah, it
Like
says a
when you got
lot.
power over someone, that's how you treat people, man. That says a lot about you.
Hmm.
Have you seen it? The Kevin Hart and
Yeah, 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 yeah. I
oh
watched
yeah,
that. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And I was going. I'm sure I'll bring it up on the Daily Show tomorrow. But I did. Yeah, we're gonna talk about this because I I give Dwayne Johnson a hard time. I do because I feel like some of the decisions he made when it came to Black Adam, he thought he was bigger than he was. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To a certain extent, because Black Adam came out, that shit, it's sort of flop. But in retrospect, it's like the highest grossing movie they've had in the past like 3 years.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
no,
Like Warner Brothers DC movies, it's like the highest grossing DC movie they've had in a while. Black Adam was, because Flash didn't make it up there or whatever. So, and I give him his props, but I just thought that situation wasn't handled the way it should have been. I thought that he was just like, I'm the Rock. What the fuck? You gonna tell me no? No, you know. And so I thought that might have led to some of the failings when it came to Black Adam. But listening to this shit, but we're gonna take a look at this. This shit was fire, dude. This shit was damn. This was it's a good video. It's a good video. It's very insightful as far as what happened. And Kevin Hart always, what's up?
He said, did the hierarchy change?
No, not really. No, it didn't.
It didn't change at all.
That's exactly why I gave him shit. You know what I'm saying, Dwayne Johnson, as far as when that shit came, because it didn't change. No, bro. Now they making jokes about the change. Like, you know what I'm saying? You've been talking about the change for this been years, and then he got there, and of course, you know, the other powers that be came in. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at this is actually a pretty dope ass video though.
Yeah.
There was so many changes in leadership, and as you know, anytime you have a company, but especially that size and magnitude, that's a publicly traded company, and you have all those changes in leadership, you have people coming in who creatively, fiscally are going to make decisions that you may not agree with philosophically. So I think Black Adam was one of those movies that got caught in that web of new leadership. And, you know, that will always be one of the biggest mysteries, I think, not only for me and us on our end, but also throughout our business, because that's a Kevin question. But that was a question out of Wall Street. That was a question out of Hollywood. That was a question like, wait a second. You had the biggest opening of your career. Sure, no China. That could have been maybe 100, maybe 200 more $1 million.
True.
You're establishing a new superhero. You want to grow out the franchise. You bring back Superman and Henry Cavill. The world went crazy. And also, too, and you were texting me this on opening weekend, is we created a diverse superhero portfolio where we had just men and women of color, you know, in Black Adam too as well. So
I was impressed by the execution.
Yeah.
I know how Black Adam, how close the movie was, the project, and that was one that was near and dear to your heart. And cracking the code, it seemed that cracking the code on the world of superhero is something, of course, that you were very ambitious about doing. And what I thought you did, I was like, oh, that's dope as fuck.
You know what it is? It's like new ownership coming in, buying an NFL team and going, all right, not my head coach, not my quarterback. Doesn't matter how many times you won the Super Bowl. Doesn't matter how many rings we got. I'm going with somebody else.
That's a great example.
Yeah.
That's a great example.
That is a good example.
Yeah. That's a fucking perfect example.
Yeah, that's like the spot on.
Yeah, and whether you agree with that or not, that's you know, that's where we sit right now when it comes to like sort of this thing, just with people in this thing who were so engaged and so involved and so connected, like just 5 years ago when it came to like, you know, Zack Snyder's Justice League and stuff like that, like that kind of stuff, like the divide that sits there is also where people sort of say the same thing. And they're right. Both of them are right. Kevin Hart is just funny. Any way he delivers things is hilarious. But what Dwayne said is true. And I think him fighting so hard to get Henry in there and then them coming back and be like, oh, we're just gonna go a different direction. We'll see where that lands as far as that goes. Dude put in a lot of work for that shit. Like The Rock put in fucking years of work to get Black Adam made.
Years.
And I thought the movie was all right. I thought it was all right. There's a lot of shit that bothered me about it. But a lot of shit they did in it, as far as like just things that were simple superhero movie things, were fire for me. I thought he did a great job in it. You know what I'm saying? So like I understand, but it's still since things have sort of things have happened, It's still the highest grossing DC movie from Warner Brothers. And actually, if I'm be honest, even the scene when Henry came back, I wasn't that impressed by it. I understand what they were going for with it, but I was just like, okay, that's dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't, even though it got spoiled for me long before I saw it. Like,
same.
Shit just be out there. Shit just be out there.
It was on the internet so quick.
Yeah, it was. And motherfuckers couldn't help themselves. They was like, yo, look at Henry. And he looked good in the suit. He looked good. Like, I mean, I can't say he didn't look good in the suit because we love him in the suit or whatever. That's one of the best pieces of interview footage I've seen in quite some time. Just because of the content and because of how candid both of them are. Obviously, at some points you could tell Dwayne probably really wanted to say some shit like
I could tell, like, right when he asked him about, he paused for a second. He was like, how can I say this but not ruin my relationship?
Yeah, because he probably, he probably really, really wants to play back at him again. He probably really does. So he's probably like, how do I not fuck that up? But also let them know y'all some bitch ass motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, but he knows because he said it. He said, yo, so you really want to go that route? But at the end of the day, like, when it was about to go down, when Zach was going to get to tell his story and have the directors like David Ayer and everybody incorporated in this thing, Rick Famuyiwa or whatever, who was going to direct the Flash, they had a plan, man. They had a plan, and that shit was going to have Reverse Flash be the ultimate villain, Eobard Thawne, which is dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can see that. And I think
that's such a dope idea, man.
Man, it is such an incredible thing. And again, fumbling the ball. Because if they had not meddled and fucked with it at all, Zach's story would already be told. Let's take a look, man. Let's take a look.
Shout out to the homie Walt.
Yeah, Walt was good. Homie was good. Let me get this straight. Zack Snyder, Rick Famuyiwa, Jay Oliva, we're going to build out a DCU Justice League Unlimited taking on Darkseid, beat him, and then reveal that Reverse Flash has secretly fucking with the DCU to mess with Barry. Bruh,
that's such a crazy idea, man.
Yeah,
and it like the crazy thing is like it makes so much sense. Like it makes so like Reverse Flash is the guy who could do that. Like it makes so much sense.
Yeah, and also the way he would have left it, the way that Zach would have left DC was. Now I leave it open for everybody else to come tell whatever story because they were going to reboot it with the Flash. You know what I'm saying? Like the Flashpoint thing would have been right at the end.
Yeah.
And Zach would have been done, moved on to whatever else he wanted to do in his fucking career. And they would have rebooted the shit, would have left it open for anybody else to come in and sort of, take it in their own direction.
Oh, bro, that like, it just makes you think, man. It's just...
What
did we lose, bro?
What the fuck did we lose? All right, the Flash movies would have been particularly important to the DCEU. However, because of a plan to introduce a classic DC villain, Eobard Thawne, aka Professor Zoom or Reverse Flash, Rick's movie was laying the groundwork for Zoom as the big baddie in the DC universe, Oliva says. It was Professor Zoom pulling the strings because he had come from the future to basically fuck with Barry. In the Flash movies, Zoom will be the villain in the background, but also in the ancillary other films, you would see some of the influences of Zoom on the rest of the Justice League. I love this this is a classic picture of him anyway, talking about, look what you did.
Yeah.
Basically, he's really looking at Warner Brothers talking about, look what you did. You fucked this entire thing. He says, so this all would have come to a head in the Flashpoint movie, which Zack Snyder revealed previously at a 2019 fan screening, would have wrapped up his Superman-focused saga and served as a reboot for the entire franchise. At the ending of Zack's Darkseid quadrilogy, or whatever, we would end up with a Justice League Unlimited version of the Snyderverse, Oliva says, referencing the popular 2000s cartoon that featured a sprawling roster of DC superheroes, and then you flip it. You do Flashpoint Paradox. Everybody whose friends are now enemies. It's a world that you don't want to live in. You can reboot the universe and introduce the cast in a new way because after 10 years, the actors need to go on to do something else. See how easy that is?
It makes so much sense.
See how easy that is?
It makes so much sense, man.
They could have done that. We'd be done by now. And
right.
Then you could still bring James Gunn could be.
You could completely reboot it and do whatever you want to do after that.
And a lot more people will probably be on board for that as far as Because of what this is it's insane, bro. This is
Oh my gosh! It just the thought of him having an influence because if anybody who knows Reverse Flash knows the whole reason he even can't stand Barry is because in the future he knows everything that happened, so it goes back in time and like it just makes so much sense. Man.
Yep, it does. Yeah, that would have been it would have been I like this picture right here. Bro. Yeah, no. Yeah, it would have been dope, dude. It would have been dope. And
how the fuck would you show me something if I couldn't have it?
So, yo, you ready for this last shot, man?
Oh yeah, let's do it, man. I got mine ready.
Hold on, let me. I was about to pour it, and I started talking about some goddamn. Or I was about to pour it before Butter started talking about Creature Commandos. Chills, bruh. chill, homie. Chill, for real. Here we go, man.
All right, episode 14 in the books.
In the books, bro.
Yes, sir.